Go on, you get out of here now. Beat it. Outside, outside.
And a one fish, two fish. And a one fish, two fish. And I've got my speakers on. Fish. And I've got my speakers on. Fish. And I've got my speakers on. All right, Twitch is sounding okay. And I've got my speakers on. All right, Twitch is sounding okay. And I've got my speakers on. All right, Twitch is sounding okay. All right, let's check YouTube. All right, let's check YouTube. I'm still looking at Twitch. Hey, Willie. All right, let's check YouTube. Hey, Willie. All right, let's check YouTube. I'm still looking at Twitch. Hey, Willie. All right, let's check YouTube. Hey, Willie. All right, YouTube is good. Hey, and there's Charles. I don't know. I think I'm going to start a showgirl outfit, but first I'm going to finish up a couple of things on this Sinbad outfit, which is coming along very nicely. And then I want to look at maybe starting a showgirl outfit. I don't have any ideas, so I think, well, I do. I think I'm going to do another sexy fantasy fighter. We'll do sexy elf. We'll do sexy mage. We'll do some showgirl outfits, and maybe I can come up with some other stuff in the meantime to fill in the gaps for that. Maybe start the 1950s combat outfit. I think I have to redo the combat boots. Anyhow, I got a couple of things I still got to do. Actually, I got a bunch of stuff I still have to do with Sinbad. It's looking good though. We're gonna show off Sinbad for the Genesis 8 female. I think I probably should put the only Genesis 9 male I actually use is Wagner. So I probably should test it on Wagner and see how it's looking. I have got way too many. I went a little nuts on the map files. That and there's so many parts. As of right now, I have 175 map files. And I think that might be 177. And I think I might be missing one somewhere. There you go. Why didn't that work? What the hell? Oh, because you probably don't have the rights. I should probably open that up to everybody. Isn't Willie a VIP? Why isn't Willie a VIP? I gotta make Willie a VIP. Hold on. You should have a diamond in front of your name or something. Or maybe it's the Twitch thing. But let me check. Let me just make sure that you are set up to be a VIP. I think I had a couple of slots left. How do we do that again? We go to Twitch. It's been a while since I've had to do this. Come over here. Creator dashboard. There we go. Assign roles or something like that. Where is that hidden at? Is that in community? Roles manager. There we go. Let's get this over here and see if we can add. I have not seen Christina McKay in years. There's Charles. Emergus still set as a monitor. Kofi Streambot. I think there's Quantum has not been here forever. How many do I have left? Does it say? Add new. Search. Willie, how do we spell bro? This art. There we go. I've got 3 slots for the VIP left. There we go. Save. That's true. You can't make them both. Well, Willie's not a monitor, isn't a moderator or a VIP, but he now should be a VIP, which means I still have 2. I should probably go in and clean up. I have not seen Aporia in the longest time. So things like that. Azura, I haven't even seen her on Kevin's stream in the longest time. Steve totally dropped off the face of the planet. Yes, you're special. Did it show up? There we go. You got the little VIP diamond. You know what? I should go through, take a few people off and assign them and give the regulars, you, Loki, Atherin, Kiwi. Charles would be one, except he's the moderator. So he's more special than a VIP. Because he's Charles, of course. I'm gonna throw the outfit on and see how we're looking. I've got all the, well, I don't have all the parts. I still have to make the undone versions, which I don't know is a little weak on this, but that's actually what we're gonna do now. It's super special. Yes, Charles is super special. Um, Anywho, here's how the outfit is looking as of today. I spent way too much time rigging the hell out of this scabbard. This scabbard you can put on almost any belt and adjust it to kind of look like it fits. It's got way too many bones. It's got 3 bones going this way, and then it's got bones on each strap. I'm doing the classic recreation of Megan Fox where she was leaning on. Ooh. Oh no, you don't have a bumblebee. You have a Volkswagen that looks like a bumblebee? Wasn't Bumblebee a Volkswagen initially? Oh, I had somebody reach out to me over at Render Hub that wanted a copy of the old Resident Evil dress that I made for you, Charles. Are you okay with me sharing that with people? The red dress. The red dress from hell. I'm not going to fix it, but I mean, if it's okay with you, I would give this person a copy of it as is. Originally Bumble. That's what I thought. Was he originally a VW? Because I know in the movie where he took up with Sam when he was with the girl, he was a Volkswagen, right? And then I know there was the Bumblebee movie. I think did he start as a Bumblebee or as a Volkswagen in that as well? The one with Haley, what's her name? Who was in the awesome Hawkeye miniseries on Disney. I really liked that series. Anyhow, here's how the outfit's looking so far. We're in good shape here. I think this is even posable. I've even got my scabbard working. Although it looks long, it measured out right. So I'm going to leave it like that. Although I did add a shorten morph to make it a little bit shorter if you really want it shorter. Um, was you asking me if you could share something? You remember the wood? No, that was me. You remember the red dress that I made for Resident Evil that always sticks to the leg? Uh, I think that was just a commission for you, and I don't want to share it if you're if you don't want it. But somebody over at Render Hub asked me about that, and if it's okay with you sharing. And if it's not, feel fine to say no. No, I like it. I want it just to be special for me. That's fine. I can cope with that. But if you're okay with me sharing it, I'll reach back out to them and let them have it as is. Just letting them know that it's kind of janky. You have a copy of the lickety stickety. Oh, you have a copy. Okay. Somebody else will on Render Hub. Somebody asked for about it, so I'll reach back out to them. Anyhow, a couple things I want to do with this is I want to make the undone versions, which this really doesn't really need undone versions, but I think I'm going to do them anyhow. So we're going to resave out the vest as an undone version, the sash. The pants don't have, the pants you just pull up, so we're just going to make special morphs that will drop those down. I can actually, and it'll be cool if I can do this, take the sash and lay it out flat. That will look so sweet. So I will do an undone version of that. We're experienced with the dress now. You know how to make it. Yeah. no noobs here. Anyhow, excuse me. I'm going to save out this vest. We're going to delete, actually, we're going to delete part of this. I'm going to change the name of it. I'm going to back up my entire directory right now because I'm afraid I'm going to screw something up at this late stage in the game. I'm like I still have to make the hierarchy materials and I still have to do special morphs. See if I can knock those out. Anyhow, we're going to come in here in the Sinbad, and just because I'm getting to that point where I'm worried I'm going to screw something up, we're just going to zip everything up as it is right now. So if I accidentally break something, I've got a copy of it back over here. And then we're going to come over here and break stuff. So there's a little... Oh, and this texture needs a little tweaking on the opacity map. I should do that. That's a little janky, isn't it? Let's set that to high rate just so we can see what the jankiness is going on there. So we're going to pop the opacity map and just add a little. I think I just need to extend the edge off a little bit on that. Yeah, you can just see a little bit of this weird right there on top of that clasp. So let's go fix that. And the surface is right. I know how this works. I'll come over here to cut out opacity. I'm going to browse. Here's cut out opacity. Let's open you up with Photoshop. Open mit. Open with. I can never find open with in any of this shit. I always think it should be up here with open, but it's always down here by itself. You think eventually I would remember that? I'm going to turn off the eye in the background. We'll go back to texture shaded in there. You have the 79Z28, which is 2 years. I got something in the way. Photoshop's in the way. Move out of the way, Photoshop, so I can read my chat. 2 years newer than what Bumblebee was in the movie with Megan Fox. But the stupid hood doesn't open. Okay, in here, we're just going to move the black line, the black out a little bit. That's all. Or I'm just going to, you know what, we'll just paint a little black in there just to fix it. And I'm just getting this, and that's not black, is it? I'm just getting this area. It looks like it might have come from Substance Painter. And you know what, I'm just going to put, and that should be good. That should fix that problem, and I don't need Photoshop anymore. And we'll see if this refreshes. There it goes. It went away. All good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to rename this Undone. We'll come over here to the scene identifier. We'll go over to scene first, then we can go over to scene identifier. Edit scene identifier. I'm going to change that to say best undone. We're going to add undone to this. Undone to that. Accept that. Pop into the geometry editor. There's a little strip right in here that we're going to delete out. So let's switch over to wire texture shaded right here. That, and that. We delete those and it'll come loose. Geometry editor. Delete selected polygons. Say yes to that. Should be good. Let's just do a quick sim and see if it falls apart like it's supposed to. I have this kind of stiffened up, so it might not go too far. But ideally, I've got it too stiff. Let's loosen up the D4 settings so it breaks free a little bit better. we'll just come through here. We'll just tweak. See, I have it all at 0.8, which actually is dynamic, but pretty much, as you see, doesn't really go much anywhere. We'll just put it at full, and we'll rerun this again. And ideally, it should do that. I'm going to set it back to 0.8. And then we'll save it out. All right, I can cancel that. Let's do a reset. Let's undo and put that back to 8. Let's take a peek at my phone. Nothing happening there. All right, now we'll just save this. And this is the reason why, just in case I overwrite the wrong file. The reason why we just did that, backup the entire directory. And this is going to be vest, and this is going to be vest undone. There's a few places where I could screw up in here. Right here. If that name didn't change, if that still said vest, I would accidentally overwrite what I was working on. Yo, Farrell, how are you doing? Farrell, is that Farrell on YouTube? Not the secret other name. Sinbad, let's save. I'm hoping that's going to work. We're going to do this with the sash now. We're going to break our sash, then we're going to break our shirt. Hum-diddy, 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 hum. For the shirt, there's a row of polys on the very bottom I'm going to get rid of. So anyhow, doing good, and you thought you would use the right use. There you go. Because I confuse so easily, you know that. Sinbad vest undone. We're going to do the sash. And we're going to rename the sash. Here, we're going to go to the scene identifier, do what we did earlier. We're going to change that name to say undone. And also we're going to add undone right here. So the node and the label say undone. We're going to accept that. We're going to go into here, and there's these two little thin rows holding this all together. We're going to get rid of those. I think I actually have a material assigned for that, so they're easier to find. So I come into tool settings, sash attachment. It says there's 59 polys though. That's a little larger than it should be. Oh, no. I guess there is 59 actually makes sense on the sash. All right, so let's, we've selected those. Let's delete them. Geometry editing, delete selected polys. Going to say yes to that. Going to do its thing. We're going to come over here to surfaces. I'm going to set the D-force up to be a lot lighter so we can actually see it fall apart. We'll reset it before we save it, but I just want to test. That's a hot mess, isn't it? I can't see what I'm doing, but I think they fell apart. I should probably stiffen up the waistbands a little bit so they hold in place better in here. All right, let's see, what do we get? There's the sash drooping away. If it all goes well, a newer and better computer in a few weeks. Yay! It has no hard drive though. Oh no. That's fixable though, right? I want to run this again. I want to stiffen these up. What do I got you set at now? You're 0.5. You're 0.9. You know, you should probably be 0.5 or something. We'll try that. I'm going to rerun this sim. I'm going to have to resave my shirt with better D4 settings. That's much better. I don't mind if they don't touch each other. You're supposed to have the sash in the way. I'm going to cancel that. This is working how it's supposed to. If I wanted them to go nowhere, I could always just set them to 0, I guess. And then they should just stay butted up against each other because they're not dynamic now. All right, so my sash seems to be working. I'll make some adjustments to that so it pops a little looser, I think. We'll add a little bit to the offset. I wonder if that node... The sword's going crazy because it's connected to a node that's on the sash, and the sash is just going every which way. Of course, now it's kind of settled down. I get the feeling that it's kind of getting stuck over here. You know what it is? Probably just friction. Making arrangements with son-in-law to get a SSD for the main drive. Oh, nice. Don't have to get... Yeah. That's true. So you can get your OS up and running. Anyhow, I think my sash is good. We're going to reset this and save it. I'm going to reset this back to 0.8 on the D-Force. And then we're going to save that as the undone version. So that's going to work okay, I think. All right, do I have the sash selected? We do have the sash selected. I'm going to do that. I'm going to click on something in here says sash, and it's not the scabbard. Where did the sash go? Oh, there it is. It's right there. I gotta say undone on that. And save that, and then we just double check and make sure that says undone. And we want that to say Sinbad. We save you. And hopefully you're good. We'll double check it later. Now I'm going to work on this shirt, so we're going to just hide the vest and the sash for now. The vest and the sash. You have a 2 terabyte on the old computer, so it only needs one more. Oh, nice. And also, it's easier just to keep all your projects, move those over, right? Okay, so for this one, I'm just going to pull off this bottom row of polys, and then it should fall apart. And so I should be able, hopefully I can loop select all the way around. We'll see how this works. The way I build things with edge trims should make for a nice, neat row of polys on the very bottom. But you never know. Select loop. It went all the way around. Yay. Then we can just delete that, and this becomes the undone version of the shirt. Geometry editing. Delete selected polys. Say yes. And we're going to just check how this falls. So we'll do the same thing. We'll just set the D-force to 1 so we can watch it flop. And we'll just double check that. And ideally it should just flop and come apart. It's actually falling into the pants. But that works. You're going to cancel that. I'm going to clear that. We're going to make sure this is renamed and saved. So same thing we did before. Go over to the scene identifier and change. I can change the name in a couple places. That's why I come over here. I want to also change the node name, not just the label name. If I just do it over here, it's just the label. Also, if I have to, I can reset the content type, but we're good here. Yeah, I'm still making I'm still on my 1080. 1060 should still be fine. Problem is you'll probably find yourself, uh, I don't know how many gigabytes of VRAMs on the 1060 though. That's the big limiting thing with DAS sometimes. So the 1080 had 11. I'm not sure what the 60 had. Okay, shirt undone, shirt undone. Accept that. Let's save that out. Actually, let me reset the surfaces. I think they were 0.8. I probably set the waist, the collar, and the cuffs to 0.5. We'll do that. Okay, now I'm going to save this as the undone version of the shirt. Somewhere in here, something should say shirt. Shirt, there it is. I'm getting too many things in this. Undone. GA female. Product. Sinbad. Sinbad shirt undone. G8 female is good. Accept that. It would be better than 650. That's true. I'm not sure how much memory is on a 360. It'll process faster than probably a 1080, but I'm not sure if it'll load enough stuff in the VRAM to make that big of a. Anyhow, I'm done with these. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to save the undone versions out for the Genesis 9. And then I'm going to start thinking about Showgirl outfit. Hit you. I'm going to get rid of that. Let's take a quick look. I'm going to torch you and make you watch me. No, we're going to save out, then we're going to do thumbnails. Chris, will this work in DAS? 1968 Super Coupe. Oh, that's an old poser model, isn't it? I might have that. Let's find out. I do have that. Let's find out. let me, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to reinstall it and let's see. So let me get my dim open here. It's been so long, it's buried in one of my old poser directories. I can still go get it. But if they've updated it to work better in DAS, I may not have that version installed. All right, impatiently waiting for DAS install manager to talk to the mothership. What was that? 1968. So I should be able to just search for 1968. There you go. You know what? We'll just do that. Install them both into my main DAS directories. Actually, it might be in the smart content. My smart content's turned off, though. I think. I'm going to relaunch DAS. Oh, no, wait. There's my smart content. My smart content is not turned off. It is on. And now we're waiting for smart content to update. I can tell my smart content's on. This is wearables. If smart content was on, that probably wouldn't have labels, I think. Anyhow, did you install in here? I don't know. 1968. There it is. Lost and Found. It's a Lost and Found because this is old poser stuff. Gotta head out. All right. Hey, take care, Farrell. We will catch you later. It's all unorganized, so I'm not sure what's what. I'm sorry. This is the Poser 4 version. This is the Poser Pros version. This is like the early aughts. Well, it seems to have loaded in okay. You're going to have to swap all the materials out. The difference between this and this is the bump maps. Uh, Poser used a weird version of normal maps way back in the day, and this is the one that probably is using just normal JPEGs. I forget what they called these things. Let's take a look at the. I mean, I can just put my iRay shader on all of that, and I'm not sure. That's just quick and dirty, right? So if we just render this, I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna rotate my render a little bit so it looks a little better. We'll do 1400 and 1000 and zoom in, and we'll just do. Can you just click on the material and change it to Uber? I don't know. I've never done it that way. Oh, I got a light in the way. My key light's in the way. I'll just back it up a little bit. I mean, that's just a quick dump of the Uber shader on top of it. Um, it looks like it's got plenty of material zones. So you should be able to. So it gives me an idea that you can probably apply proper shaders onto this. Probably put a better glass on there, update that. So, I think that's going to be usable. It got triangulated. That would probably happened when it was exported out of whatever it was made in. So anyhow, I don't know. It looks like a decent enough. Is it like $1 or $2? What is Dad selling it for these days? $2.99. A little bit of work. Now, can you just right click and change? I've never done it that way. Is there? I'm not seeing it. But I mean, I have an Uber shader basically right there. It's $2.99. Yep, I think it made a. It's $21.99. Are you logged into your dad's account? Oh, are you not? I see it's $21.95, $2.99 for me. Except I already own it. Of course, Willie can get it for. You said right click. You meant highlight it by right clicking and then change to. Oh, okay. That's basically what I did, yes. I'm a premier. I might not be getting the premier. Oh, that's right. You're the premier. You get it cheaper. I don't buy that much stuff. I get plus for free. So Plus price is $2.99. Anyhow, what am I doing? Oh yeah, we're doing I'm gonna get rid of that. We're gonna do the vest. I'm gonna switch my window back so it's easier to work with. You get your Premiere paid for my commission. A nice render settings. I'm gonna reset you back to what I normally work with, 1000 by 1300, which is Dad's promo size, which is the reason why that's my default setting. Okay, we're going to do the undone versions of the vest, sash, and shirt for the G9. Then I'm just going to render out the thumbnails. Then we're going to think about, oh, I have to still do thumbnails for this as well. Anyhow, let's get you in here. Let's select you. Let's change your name. I'm in the wrong tab. We're going to, I'm trying to get used to using the scene identification tab because it just works a little easier. It has a bunch of cool stuff consolidated right here, so I don't have to. It's kind of handy. Okay, accept that. Maybe, actually, you know what? I'm going to change you to be an accessory waist. I think I had that before and I forgot to do it when I updated it. Edit scene identifier. Right in here. I'm going to change that to not be a dress and be an accessory for the waist. There we go. And accept that. Okay, then we're just going to save this out. Here's the important part. Do not save in the Genesis 8 directory. We'll go over to the Genesis 9. That's where I make my biggest mistake most of the time, is inadvertently saving an 8 over a 9. Okay, you're going to be undone. Nope, nope, nope. I haven't made it undone yet. Cancel that. We got to get in there and delete our polys. Tool settings, surfaces. We're going to take the sash attachment, select that, and delete it. Should be good. Okay, now we can save it. That's pants. That's a sash. Okay. That's Genesis 8. Let's not do that. Let's go to Genesis 9. There's the sash. I haven't saved the outfit yet either. I should do that. Done. Boom. Product Sinbad. You say sash undone, so we're good. You are an accessory waist. I did that for the Genesis 9. All right, so that's looking good. All right, that's done. We'll do the shirt. I got the eyes selected. Let's not do that. Let's do this. So same thing we did earlier with the shirt. We're just going to delete off this bottom. We're going to rename it, right? I have the wrong thing selected. That's Genesis 9. That's not even the shirt. That's better. Undone. Undone G9. G9. You are a wardrobe shirt. Excellent. Do that. Come over here. We're just going to do the loop select like we did last time. And then just delete that off using the editor. Geometry delete selected. Say OK. Should be good. We'll just go ahead and save that out. Shirt undone. Product is Sinbad. Shirt undone. Accept. I'll double check them later after stream. All right. And then we got the vest to do. And okay, scene identify, select the vest, scene identification, change that, change that. Content type, let's make you a shirt. You should have said shirt before. I really wasn't paying attention when I set that up earlier, was I? Okay, and then we've got the three little, I'm going to zoom in so we can see them. Three little polys. There, there, and there. Those are the things that hold the clasp onto the other side. Now we should be good. And I'm just going to save you out. Vest undone. Product. Sinbad vest undone G9. Accept that. Should be good. Okay, so I have to render a few thumbnails in here. I didn't render the thumbnails for the scabbards for Genesis 9. We have to render the thumbnails for what we just saved too. Then we'll move on to trying thinking about showgirl outfits. I have an idea for how to do the bottom, and I think maybe I'll fumble around on the top, and we'll do that in Marvelous Designer. And that might be all I can get away with today. And we'll take a look at the, I'm going to need feathers. And I did feathers for my fan, but I want to see if I can maybe do better feathers these days. Although the fan looks nice. What am I doing? I'm opening up my thumbnails, that's right. And that's where I left off. I was last doing scabbards. You know what? I'm going to get rid of those and we'll reload. Reload this in. And I haven't saved an outfit for this either, so I'm going to do that too. First things first, let's get the undone sash rendered. So, kind of get that in there like so. Just hide, show the sash, render that. We're rendering the tip files and then we'll convert these to thumbnail files. Should be good. And where am I? I'm over in Genesis 8. We want to go over to Genesis 9. I do have to render some for Genesis 8. So there we go. We're going to overwrite that tip file there that was auto-generated. You know what? I don't even need... I do need the pants. I'll do this in a second. So let's get the undone vest rendered here. Probably good enough. Undone vest. Undone short. It's going to look an awful lot like the shirt because in default they look the same more or less. I could have just copied the shirt thumbnail. If anybody ever calls me out, I can say, yeah, it's totally the different thumbnail. Um, all right, let's dress up our Genesis 9 favorites. You know what we don't need? We don't need those eyes. Do this. Okay, we're going to back up a little bit so we can watch these come in and make sure it works right. Wearables, ideally, the feet should be posed. And we put the pants on. Then we put the regular sash on. I'm going to put the... Okay, so for the scabbards, you have to select the sash because they're attached to that. And I'm going to put on the right scabbard. We're going to put our shirt on. And I still have the sash selected. Let's not do that. Let's put the shirt on there. Put the vest on that. Add the turban. And that's the basic load. We'll go ahead and save this and render a thumbnail. So this is like the complete outfit. If you just want to load everything at once, that's the default. Wearable preset. There we go. And we're going to do exclamation point. I can't put it at the very beginning, but I can use it elsewhere in a name. Outfit G9. Outfit. Let's try that with a T instead of an R. So this looks all good. We're also going to make sure that the feet are posed. So we're going to come over here to this pose tab and set that up. Just the feet. So it comes in with the proper foot pose for those boots. There's the left foot. And there's the right foot. And we'll accept that. And then we'll just do a quick render of that. Oh, it's still saving. Never mind. And today we got our Sarah mug out. And we're drinking milk and coffee. I guess you could call that a cafe latte. Oh no, are the feet still in the ground? No, they're not. I wanted the brown boots. We're going to change the color of the boots and resave this. I want the brown boots with the ornament. It's hard to see the ornaments on the boots though. I might change the color to make them lighter or something so they pop better on that brown. I haven't decided yet. Anyhow, I gotta resave this with the updated boots. Which means I gotta come back in here and select the feet. This is the tedious part about saving wearable presets if you're saving poses. Okie dokie. Okay. Now we'll do a render for the thumbnail for that. Then I just have to do thumbnails for the sword and scabbard attachments. Okay, that's going to overwrite that. Okay, I have one on here already, so we're just going to zoom in on this. Like so. And then I'm just going to render that. That is the right side. And you can see how it's just kind of... They're stapled. They're stapled on there. They're clipped. It's clipped to the sash. You know, that's probably good enough. And that was the right side, so I'm going to save over that one. Okay, we're going to select the sash and then load in the other side. And I'm going to get rid of this one. And we'll come over here and render this. A little trickier attaching a sash over here where the knot is. But I think that'll do. One of the quirks is the sash, the scabbard and sword aren't visible in the simulation, so you might get the cloth going through them. I did that on purpose so that they don't accidentally make things explode, which they're liable to do. These little fiddly bits up here would probably make the sash explode. All right, overwrite that. I think, and then when I just have to do a few thumbnails for Genesis 8. I think I have this. What are you? You're this, so we're going to come down here. And we are sorting by... I'm going to get rid of you, vest undone, sash undone, scabbard right, scabbard left, and those, we're going to get rid of those. I'm going to select these, make them thumbnails with the image resizer. Image resizer doesn't name them quite right though, so we're going to clean that up now with the name renamer, with the file renamer, and I was doing that last, so I don't have to change anything there. Pop back over here, do a refresh. Yay, 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 yay. All my thumbnails are looking good. All right, let's hide that, and we'll knock out those thumbs. I still have to do my D-Force presets, and we still have to do hierarchical material sets. I'm going to maybe do 4 to 6. Probably 6. And then with the dirty versions, that makes 12 HMATs. This, I'll need to set up maybe a separate file for the vest, shirt, sash, and pants. By 3, so it'll be like 12 to 16 files. If I decide to do a version, an alternate stiff version, probably not. Probably default, fully deforced and then deforce off. Oh, and that should probably be renamed. We can do that now. I forget AO is from a swimsuit or something. Akvo outfit, maybe. Sinbad simulation settings best. And then we're in here, and I just need, so I can just load these in and render them. Sash undone. And now we're heading back over to the Genesis 8 folder. So sash undone is right there. Shirt undone. This will have some nice open morphs, but you really can't use that with the sash. I think I'm going to have somewhere that you don't move the waist, but that'll be in the regular shirt. The exposed morphs, where you can pull it off to one side or the other or both. Also, we've got to add the hanging morse and the on the ground morse. Anyhow, that thumbnail's done. Or actually, that tip file's done. So we save that out. Just do the cancel that. I loaded that onto the shirt, so it was trying to auto fit it. Wonder if my morse are working. Probably not. There's weird shit that happens. Hey, it is working. Okay. I think that's what I wanted to do with the Sinbad outfit for today in on stream. Oh, no, wait. We still got to resize. We knew that. We're almost done. So we're going to delete you. Here, let's sort by date modified so we can get the stuff that we did up here. And then these are the other two. They're nearby because we did them today as well. And we resize that to be thumbnails. And we rename these to have a proper DAS name. DAS won't recognize this .tip stuff. However, DAS does like to have a .duff. Although if you don't have the duff in there and the PNG's the same, it will still read it as a thumbnail. If you have the duff in here though, it will be the one it uses instead of if there's a PNG with the same name. Anyhow, let's see if that worked. Looking good, looking good. Hunky dory. Okay, now I think I'm good. I'm going to save this thumbnail file. Actually, I should have left that open. I wanted to take a look at my feathers. Damn it. Anyhow, while that's launching, let's go ahead and get Marvelous Designer warmed up. How did I get it to... I just typed. Here, let's get the DAS back in here. I just searched for 1968 and found it. That's what I did. I'm not sure where it's categorized. Because I didn't see it. It didn't pop up in here. It's probably ordered somewhere down because it's an old product. I think this is what it's not, this is by purchase date, right? I probably purchased it in the aughts. But I just did the search for 1968. Did I type in 1968? 1968? There it is. That's how I find it. And then I have this other muscle car, which I forget what kind of car that is supposed to be. I used to be able to know the name of that. A Plymouth something, I think. But it was the car they used on that show, the two brothers, Supernatural or something. The folder itself, no, the folder itself does not have smart content in it. No, everything is just in one big. So what you're looking for are these ones right here. 1968 Camaro P4, but you actually want 1968 Camaro PP. Not that you're going to keep these materials. The PP should come with JPEG bump maps though, if it's using bump maps. And this one uses an old format from Poser called the .bum file, which is basically a type of normal map. And then it has I think the rest of these are basically color options and things. I don't even know if any of this stuff works. I don't know. Let me reload the Camaro and see if we select the Camaro and if I do the yellow. I guess it does kind of work. It's going to probably mangle your... So if you go to all the trouble to set up the colors, it'll probably mess them up. Is there anything else in here? Vinyl rooftop. Is that just a material shader? I think that was just a material. And this is probably all in the same directory. So all the stuff. Nova. That was the Chevy Nova. Okay. You know what? They're just probably using the diffuse color to change the colors. I'm not sure exactly what that's supposed to be. Yeah, you see there, it just changed the diffuse colors. Yeah, color changes in the diffuse. And he's just using this kind of basic texture. Does he got bump maps? Nope, it didn't bring in any bump maps. It has a reflection color. Oh yeah, Poser used to use these reflection maps too to give it fake shininess. So if you apply, it probably scrubs that stuff out of there. Did it move anything to the bump channel? I didn't even see anything that should have been a bump channel. I didn't see a BUM file. Actually, let me check something here. Did it even load in with a BUM file? Why does it even bother if it didn't? I Daz isn't going to show me a BUM file in here. Let's go to Explorer and see what's in here. No, this doesn't even have BUM files. I don't. It does have a bump map, so maybe that's the difference. So the Poser 4 version probably doesn't even have that bump map installed. Does that even do anything? Yeah, it's got bumps on it. Sure. That'll do the trick. Oh, that's for the vinyl roof right there. You get a tire bump. You get a tire. Basically, these are reflection maps. So Poser used to fake reflections with reflection maps before it had a ray tracer render engine. They could look really cool. Anyhow, I'm sure you've got all sorts of cool IRA shaders that you can go in here and customize this with. It is nice. It did split up in a bunch of different little material groups, so that's handy. So you could probably get a nice looking... The model looks solid. Did the hood open? I didn't even check. Is there an engine in there? Did it show an engine in there? It did show an engine in there. Just used the fuse along with black stripes. Yeah. Did it come with stripes? Anyhow, not a bad model, really. You kind of have to do a little bit of work to get it, but that's okay. What were we doing? Hey, Marvel's Designer launched. Oh, there's a new update. There's a new lacing tool. I gotta totally check that out. I don't know what the 3D pencil is. We'll check that out. Preserve 3D garment shape on 2D scaling. Nice. This is handy. Yeah, if you got loads of nice auto shaders, easy peasy. Toon shader, we don't care. This, I have been in Marvelous Designer before where I've made a pattern bigger and it doesn't keep them all together in a nice clump. They all kind of enlarge on their own individual origins, which is just weird. So this is a nice addition here. Lacing tool, totally want to check that out. I think in the next few weeks we'll probably be doing combat boots again. So we'll see how this works out then. If not before that. Do I want to update now? No. Never update during stream. So did you just stop on me? Oh, it's 78. Dang. I probably don't need to turn the heater on again. All right. I'm going to block out a showgirl. I'm going to do some research, but I have an idea of where I'm going to start with. So you were going to put away. We're going to put you over. Actually, let's get you. I need to grab a corner or something. I need more room. I need to get you spaced a little bit better there. Grab that corner and line you up right about there. G9 avatar. Can I get you any smaller? Nope, that's as small as you go. Okay, we're going to work on a bottom. I'm going to kind of build kind of a G-string or a small panty. It's going to come up here. We're going to widen out and we're going to attach a little bit of a skirt off of that. So I'm going to start with that. And I'm going to maybe just 3D. And I want it to come up here. You know what? I'm going to 3D pen this belt out and then we'll run it around through here. And then we'll come this and it'll come back up out to here. So we'll do 3D pen avatar. So I can just kind of sketch. Do I want this come up over the hips? I think I want this to come up over the hips. So I think I want to bring it in through here. And we'll kind of bring it in straight like that. I'm going to kind of try to and I'm going to have the skirt come off of that and it'll hang off and around through the back. Did you not connect? And then what I want is I'm going to fill this out later, but I'm just going to kind of do kind of like you to there. And then you kind of come up around here. And then you're going to kind of come through here. I'm going to fill this in, but you're going to kind of come up through here. I'm probably going to change the angle on that. And then it'll attach you like that. Let's kind of start with that. And then I'm going to straighten that up to a strap. And yet, let's start off with flattening our pattern. That got so much better. It used to be such a struggle to get that thing to turn blue before. it would flicker. You would think you had it and then you didn't. You think you had it and then you didn't. But now they made a huge improvement on that because I can just click on it and it works. Jeepers, a tool that does what it's supposed to do. Go figure. The insanity. I'm going to line you up straight like that. We're going to redraw you. We're going to redraw you, and you are upside down. I think you're upside down. You are totally upside down. You're supposed to come along. Let's have faith in the process. Do this with the polygon tool. I'm going to clean that up to be 50. I'm going to come over here and we'll come back over here. We're going to do some change lengths on these. Get them nice and neat. What are you? Oh, you say 32. Let's say 35. That's a nice, easy to remember number. And you. We're going to say 35 on you as well. And then we'll just grab some curvy point things. Slap those in here. And I think that's pretty close. And I'm going to get rid of you. Get rid of both of them. Let's not do that. Let's just get rid of you. Why are you attached? What the frick? I apparently just created you as part of. You're not. Oh, did I do the line tool instead of the polygon? Damn it. That's better. I don't know. Where are you? There we go. There. Disaster averted. And let me see if I can line this. So here, let's put you like so. Let's go ahead and freeze these two up. So they don't go anywhere while we play around with this. I'll probably end up merging in the back. Also, let's turn gravity off. I should turn gravity off first. Okay, we'll tweak that. Let's get this set up and then we can sew. Oh, no, you don't get sewn together on that edge. That's right. This gets sewn to that. All right, we'll come back to that. We'll get this blocked out. And this actually has to extend all the way down to here. So once again, we'll do the polygon. I'm going to adjust the length on that to be about 10 or 15. Bring you through here. You through here. You through here. I should adjust. How do I want to adjust this? You know what? I'm going to pull a line off of that. That's going to be. We'll make that 10. I think 10 looks a little chunky. We'll make it. We'll go with 5. We'll make it a thin strap. maybe 7.5. Let's do 7.5. I forgot to double click. Right about in there. I'm going to get rid of. So we'll set that to be 7.5. Pull this around till that says 90. And we're going to try to keep that to say 7. You're not saying, I'm not getting an angle number over there. That's annoying. 92.7. I went a little far. 92.7 on the FM dial. 91.3. 89.8. You know, that's pretty darn close. Did I leave you at 7 point? You know, let's change length on that. We'll go the other way. I wanna go to the end. Say 7.3, 7.5 is good. Let's just pop a point into here. And then what I can do is I can just take that and snap it up over to here. I don't need anymore. Although maybe I'll just do a cut and sew on there. And this, I'm just going to do a something off the something offset pattern. I don't know, let's say 100 to begin with. We'll adjust that to fit. And what are you, by the way? I should set you to, you're 10.1. I should have set this to be 10.10. Change length on that. I'm going the right way. We'll say 10 on that. Then I'll do the pattern outline. 100. We'll start with that. All right, now let's set this up. I'm just going to, and then we'll add the curve into here later. So that's going to be 10. I'm going to change that in a bit. I wish that was snapping a little better than that, but we'll fix that. Change length on you, but I want you to go the other way, and I want you to be 10. I'm just going to drag you until you kind of snap into place. I think that's good. I can get rid of. Okay, I'm going to copy this, sew this together, and then attach these to this. Then we'll take this and sew it to the back of that. Then we'll work on getting this and this sewn together. Anyhow, you need to go to the back. And this. Do that. So those, actually, let me try the, there's that fold thing I never do. And this would be a perfect spot to unfold with symmetry or something. Am I not seeing the, do I suddenly not get the unfold option? I suddenly don't get an unfold option. Maybe it's because it's point. Do I get an unfold when I do this? Unfold the, yeah, let's lose you. Unfold symmetrical editing with sewing. It'll probably be fine. Do that. I might make this even narrower, or we might put some curve into here later. Anyhow, I inadvertently sewed those together. They didn't need to be. But that's fine. We'll just get rid of that. And then, so that to that. Did I get symmetry on that? I did. Nice. Did I sew in the right spot? No, I sewed in the back. I want to sew over here. I'm back. I'm bassward. So I want to sew this end over here. Like so. And then I want to sew this into here. We'll add the other part of that later. So that's going to end up looking like that. All right, let's see how this goes. Something like that. I'm going to want that up on the hip higher. And you, I actually want you all the way up here. This is going to be a little bit of a bugger to get to set right. Let's go ahead and sew this guy. Let me get rid of gravity right now. Bye-bye, gravity. Okay. You need to sew to this part right here. I think kind of like, we'll start with this and then we'll play with the lengths on these. You know, getting that to stick on the hip is going to probably be problematic. Might work better if we strengthen it. Oh, you know what? That's kind of coming together. I think that's a little lower than I like and a little narrower. So I think I'm going to run this up and run these down. We'll start by running these down and then we'll take the whole thing up. And it should be symmetrical. Yay. I think I'll pull you out just a hair. Take you up. Going up. That's good. And then I need some width through here. And then we can get narrower down. And that's about the right width right there. I just need to add some. Oh, and that's fitting on the hip a little bit better. And then I need to, let's get this mirrored over. Cancel that. Put you over there. I'll do the same thing. I think we can just do the unfold, right? Unfold with mittens. And then that, I should pull you out of the bum there. And redo this. Oh, you're just twisted around now, aren't you? There we go. Are we floppy in the crotch? Is everybody's favorite phrase. That's kind of... I may chop this in half and just make it symmetrical in the Blender. So I want just a little bit more width through to here. So maybe we put and then make that a curve point. And maybe a little bit. Looks a little, it's getting a little stretched. So see if we can get that to not be so stretched. It did give me a little bit more width down here. So let me just pop a point right in there. Bring you out a little. Probably good. Maybe pull you out this way a bit. Maybe convert you to a curve point. This I definitely want to. Can I just make you into a curve point? And maintain. No, I lose my symmetrical editing. I do that. So we'll just drag this down like this. We're looking at that number there, and we want that to be about 180. Something like that. What did you get set at? 7.5? Yep. Let's do a offset and internal line at 7.5. So that'll kind of finish up that strap through there. We'll probably put a little, I probably should put a cut in here, and then we can run a little trim line through here. I'll probably end up doing cuts and sews on these. You know what? Let's just do a cut and sew on that now. Can I do that? Did that work? It looks like it worked. All right, let's put a little 5 internal line in here. And that's going to be the trim zone on that. Oh, I should probably, you know what? Let's go ahead and cut and sew this, and then we'll redo this. That didn't quite line up. I'm just going to cheat that into there. Then we can add our little internal line in here. And how are you looking? I like the waistband is looking kind of like what I wanted. I'm going to round this out. And then I'm going to think about attaching a skirt along here. I think part of it's a circle skirt. And maybe we'll make it droop in the back. And yeah, what did I say? Round? I want to round this corner off. We'll use our, you know what? I want to set a point here at 7.5 so I know where not to go. So that's about where this strap is sewn to. We'll come over here and we'll use this smooth curve tool. And I'll just pull that out to round those edges off. And then through here. Okay, I'm going to draw a big circle. We're going to put a hole in it. It's going to get bunchy through here because I'm going to have extra cloth, but we're going to then chop it in half and fold it over. And let me, actually, I can kind of figure out. So it needs to be, I'm thinking of the circumference. So if we double that, that means we need at least like 620. And then we add some extra, maybe another 300 in there. So 900 circumference on the inside. I'm not sure what that works. What's that works out to? Like just under 300 on the diameter, or 150 on the radius. Which means I'm going to plop you in here. Do I get numbers that I can? No, you know what? I'm going to do you like this. Then I can type numbers in here. So my diameter is going to be at least 300 for the hole. And then we maybe want another, let's go 500 beyond that. So 800. And I'm probably just going to, after we cut the hole in here and get this trimmed up, just drag this back and then we'll sew this on and we'll chop this in half. Probably a good starting point. And then we'll put a hole in here, an internal ellipse, like that. And now I can type in that diameter number, which I said was going to be a little bit less than 300. So 300 should work for us. And then I'm just going to kind of chop a segment out from here to here, maybe from here to here. So we'll just do I wish I did. Here, let's do this. I gotta not be able to see that. And now I can see, there we go. So I want to, actually, let's cut this out. Doy. I'll just do a cut. I can't, can I not? There we go. Delete. Maybe take you to you. I wish it would snap onto that thing. Actually, before I do this, I'm gonna, we'll just do, I need to, because I need to do this one up here as well. You know what? No, I can do this. Yeah, we can. I can do a cut on here. I can do a cut on here. We can just delete that. And what we did with the fold with symmetry earlier. Fold with symmetry. We'll double check. So this needs to be at least 300. It's a little, I think I'm going to make it a little bit larger. I do want to get some bunchiness in here when I sew this on. So we'll do that. This is the back, that is the back. So we'll just sew this onto here. I'll probably round out the edge, but I'm not decided yet. But I know we want to do that. And that gets to go kind of like that. And let's position this so that it's sitting in a happier spot when it simulates. Right now it's in a very unhappy spot to simulate. It's going to be happier there. All right. Although it's in the hands, it's probably going to be good. I should freeze this stuff. And that way it holds its shape while we do this. And my gravity's off. So let's put gravity back on. I'm just going to do half gravity. that's the ticket. I think I'm going to pull the. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this back and pull it so that we get kind of a tail. I'm not going to use the nudge. I'm just going to do. You know, the point might look cool. How far down are you? Are you by the knees or are you farther than that? I went too far. Let's try that. I think a little longer than that. That might be a good starter bottom. All right, I gotta set up folders for this stuff. What do I got? 13 minutes? I mean, I could start the top. What am I thinking? There's going to be a collar. We'll have the top come off of that, run down over here. We'll have a cup up here. It will meet in here. And then we'll just bring this back up over like that. And then we'll just bring a strap in the back and you'll have the collar on the top. I'm not sure how far along I'm going to get on that today in 13 minutes. Considering, you know what, I'm going to probably spend the rest of the 13 minutes prepping folders. Because we got to save this somewhere. And the logical place would be a folder that says Showgirls. And I don't know if I have one of those. You know what? I think I'll put it in my burlesque directory. And let's go talk to ChatGTP about names for showgirl outfits. I want to do maybe a couple in the next few months. Is what I'm thinking. Where's my projects? Because this is kind of stage show stuff. I think my fan dancer and my burlesque outfit are in a folder called burlesque, so I'll probably put this in the burlesque. Pageant queen's in here as well, so this makes sense. I have no idea what Birdie is. Pop out cake's in here. Ringmaster's in here. Okay. This is the perfect folder for Showgirl. Before we do that, let's go talk to ChatGTP about Showgirl outfit names. I don't want to actually call it Vegas. I might call one Vegas eventually, but I'm not paying attention to what Vegas Showgirl outfits actually look like. I should probably do a little bit of research on some of those. All right. Hold on a second. I'm going to log in. Oh no, I gotta check my inbox for a code. I'll be back. This may take a couple of minutes because I have to open up my email. And I'm not going to do that while stream's watching. So give me a second here. So, nope, that's the Discord. That's OBS. So I'll be back after I get my confirmation code to log into ChatGTP. Okay, we're back. We've got our code. We've got logged into ChatGTP. Um, let's say 12 names for show girl outfits, please. Let's see if this gives us anything. Uh, Starlight. Have I used Starlight Siren? I kind of like that. Midnight Marabou. What's a Marabou? Excuse me. I'm going to do that on screen too because I don't know what the hell a Marabou is. It's a premier chocolate brand owned by Mondelez International. It's a type of stork? What the hell? Well, maybe because of the feathers. Midnight Marabou. Soft, fluffy, highly mobile type of feather used for trimming costumes. Okay, that makes sense. That's probably not used at Daz, too. Um, let's go shopping at Daz. I think we're good. So, yeah, I've got it condensed so the hamburger popped up and I can't see anything. There we go. Let's go shop. Let's search the site. Maybe I'll just call it Marabou. We've got 80 results for Marabou? Really? Really, Daz? You think so? I think I can get away with just calling it Marabou. We'll call it the Marabou showgirl outfit, and then everything will just say Marabou. I think that's what we're going to go with. All right, I got my folder name. Okay, file new. Marabou showgirl. All right, let's go get our template folders. We don't need data. I do want these. I went right past it, didn't I? And we'll paste that right there. Come into people, Genesis 8, clothing, me. And you know what? Can I get away with saying Marabou? Did I already lose my... There we go. Where did it go? Where did it go? There we are. Put that there. We'll pop over to runtime and the textures folders. Put that there. So I think we're going to do a bottom, a top. I'm going to look at maybe some arm accessories and shoes and a headpiece. It's tentatively what I'm shooting for. And I think maybe I'll put feathers on the headpiece. And maybe we do feathers off the back of the skirt, but we totally want to do feathers on the headpiece. That's the general thought. I've got to do more research on what I want to do for the outfit. But I've got 4 minutes before 4. I have to save this, and then we're going to call it a day. And let's do a couple of things. Let's make sure we're quad optimized. Hello, McFly. Is there anybody in there? All right, we're good there. File, save as, projects. Boylesque, Marabou, I think I'm pronounced. I don't know. I'll double check the pronunciation. Whip folder. You know what? We don't have a whip folder in here. Marabou. Show. Girl. G9F. So I think that's the start. Am I gonna? So I gotta decide if I want to maybe run some stuff up through here. And I gotta figure out how to put nice shiny, sparkly dots and things on these. Anyhow, that's where we're leaving off for today. We've kind of got a start on this outfit. Next project. Sexy Elf or Showgirl, one of the two. We're leaning towards Showgirl with this. Okay. I think with that, we'll find somebody to rate and call it a day. And then I can get back to work on Sinbad. Now, by the way, happy Cobbler Day. It's National Cobbler Day here in America. We do like our cobbler. I haven't had cobbler in the longest time, though. Because peaches are messy. Anyhow, let's see who's on Twitch. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Rules. Oh, yeah, and happy VIP day for Willie. It's official. Willie's important. Willie was important before, but now he gets a diamond to go with it. And we saw Farrell today, and our good friend Charles was in the house. I think we gave Charles a shout out earlier. We'll give Charles another shout out now. We'll take a look and see who's on today. I thought I saw somebody. That I was thinking would have been a good rate. Strange Lemon. There we go. That's it. She rated me a few days back. She's a crafter. And she's been on for 4 hours, but we'll go over and say hi anyhow. So anyhow, thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. I should have another product coming out in the next few days. Fingers crossed. We'll see how that works out. I had one come out on Sunday. And hey, yeah, buy my stuff at Desk. That would be awesome. Feel free to join the Discord. That would also be awesome. If you put stuff in the gallery, we share it on Saturdays. Next stream will be tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll probably be working on the Showgirl outfit more steady then. Also, I might start to block out what I want to do with other outfits in the future. I'm going to try to plan out at least. I'm tentatively thinking 5 right now. Showgirl, maybe 2 Showgirls. That would make 6. Sexy Fighter, Sexy Mage, Sexy Elf, and 1950s generic combat dude. Which means I'm not going for authentic. I'm going for what looks good in a 50 sci-fi film. And then we'll take a look at some point in the next couple of weeks. We'll be looking at laces in Marvelous Designer because I'm going to want to redo my combat boots because I don't like the old ones. They look nice, but I don't like the modeling underneath them. Anyhow, let's go say hi to Strange Lemon. She's a wonderful crafter who I really haven't spent time watching. So let's do that. Hey, if there's anybody actually still here, and can join the raid, that would be awesome. There's a raid call for you non-subs. There's a raid call for all you cool cats who are subs. And let's do this /raid. And Strange Lemon Art is who we are raiding today. And we'll do that. And thank you all for being here. Hopefully you have a good rest of a Monday or Tuesday for those on the happy side of the planet. And hasta la vista, baby. Oh, YouTube, like and subscribe.